Everybody knows he's a weirdo. Even the president, even Trump acknowledges he's a weirdo. He's not really somebody anybody is comfortable with, who you really want to be around, and who you might trust on any matter, because he's so weird. Looking at you with those weird eyes, he's a weirdo. Even Trump acknowledges that he's a weirdo. So I said, explain this to me, explain this rise. How does he keep rising? And across the board, there's one explanation, and everybody rushes to it. They say, he's the most incredible suck-up. You have never seen this. I mean, the flattery, the ooze, when he is in the room with the president, with Trump, it just can't stop. Everybody responds the same way, and they rush to say it. He survives and thrives because he's such an amazing suck-up.
It's hard to argue with this assessment of perhaps the most nefarious person in American politics, especially when his own family has been ashamed of him for years now.
This is a country of immigrants, and our family were immigrants. In fact, we were refugees. If my ancestors had not immigrated to the United States when they did, if they'd waited a few more years till 1924, the door would have been shut. My parents would have gone up the crematoria chimney. I wouldn't have been born, my sister wouldn't have been born, and certainly Stephen would never have existed. Dozens of family members have encouraged me to push forward with this.
You don't expect to change Stephen's mind with this, do you?
No, it appears that he's made his entire political and personal career on this single issue, for reasons that I don't really know.
That our family stood for the rights of asylum seekers and refugees, and also because the policies which are being advanced by the Trump administration in terms of refugees, in terms of the management and the treatment of refugees, represent a significant danger to American citizens as well, since it entails a serious attack on democracy. We see here now that American law and policy are being officially made on the basis of race, or religion, national origin, ethnicity. This is a great danger to American citizens as well as to the refugees.
He was elected in large part because he was willing to stir up and divide, and to stir up ethnic hatreds and fears and anxieties about so-called invaders. He doubled down on that during the midterms, famously putting himself on the ballot and his policies on the ballot, and having really an explosive rants of ethnic and racial fear at the midterms. And he was stunningly repudiated. He seems to have just decided he's going to double down on that bet again. His history is going to be one of great interest, I think, to psychobiographers in the future, as to how this all came to pass and why he feels this way and so forth. But frankly, who cares about that? It's the public persona, it's the public acts of the administration, it's the craven cowardice of the Republican Party. Those are the things we're interested in.
Watching Stephen Miller's uncle see the writing on the wall regarding these immigration policies at the end of the first Trump term is a chilling reminder of how long these warnings have been ignored. Understanding Miller's mindset, it's absolutely essential to grasping the direction this second administration is taking, particularly the intersection of immigration policy and white supremacy. This reality is reflected in a devastating Facebook post from Miller's own cousin, Alyssa Kastner. She writes, "I grieve what you've become, Stephen, and I grieve what I've lost because of it. I grieve your children I will never meet. I grieve the future family you've stolen from me by choosing a path so filled with cruelty that I cannot and will not be a part of it. I will never knowingly let evil into my life, no matter whose blood it carries, including my own. Most of all, I grieve for those directly harmed by your actions, for the communities here in Los Angeles, our shared home, for all of California and the rest of the country terrorized by the cruelty you have brought upon us all." She continues, "And here's where it hurts even more. We were raised Jewish, Stephen. You and I both know what that means. We were raised with stories of survival. We were taught to remember. We celebrated holidays each year with the reminder to stand up and say, never again. But what you are doing breaks that sacred promise. It breaks everything we were taught. To be this close to the cruelty through you has left me ashamed and shattered. What sticks out most to me is Well, a perfect storm of ego, fear, hate, and ambition. It's admission of deep guilt and shame from within his own bloodline, highlighting that it's not just political disagreement. This is rejection based on humanity. Now, recall this viral video of a tow truck driver taking matters into his own hands with Stephen Miller's secret police force. Back in August, Bobby Nunez was arrested after he towed a government vehicle that was being used to box in a TikTok influencer during an ICE arrest in downtown LA. Federal prosecutors mocked Nunez with First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Esselstyn, stating he could laugh behind bars while he faces justice for what they called brazenly towing an ICE vehicle. Nunez faced up to 10 years, but as of December 20th, 2025, a jury acquitted him. His attorney successfully argued that the vehicle was simply blocking a driveway and was moved only 1 block away for 13 minutes. It's not an isolated case. It's the latest in a string of trial losses for the government, as juries act as a backstop against this kind of prosecutorial overreach. In response to this verdict, Stephen Miller posted, "Another example of blatant jury nullification in a blue city. The justice system depends on a jury of peers with a shared system of interests and values. Mass migration tribalizes the entire legal system." His reaction is textbook white supremacy. His ideas pose a danger to everyone in America because they prioritize state-sponsored cruelty over the constitutional rights that are supposed to protect us all, regardless of whether you are part of his in-group.
Did you know that the big wireless carriers like Verizon and AT&T made over $18 billion in profit last year? How? By overcharging you for unlimited data, most of which you probably aren't even using. But what if you could get paid to use your phone less and only pay for the data you do use? Well, with Noble Mobile, you can. For just $50 a month on their No Bull plan, you get unlimited data, and whatever data you don't use, you get cash back right in your pocket. People who switch to Noble can save an average of $500 to $1,000 a year. It's a no-brainer. And by switching to Noble, you're directly supporting TYT and our mission of bringing you honest, independent news. So give Noble a try and make the switch today. Scan the QR code on the screen now or visit go.tyt.com/plan. That's go.tyt.com/plan.